The GDS perspective, where we generally serve the online space with the products and features we come out with. From my standpoint, with the amount of innovation that's going on in the marketplace right now, the biggest challenge for us is identifying those features and functions and products that we feel are going to help our customers ultimately capture more value in the travel distribution chain.
Will you be investing more or less in the digital channel over the next 12 months?
Kind of going along that same line with the amount of innovation going on, we'll absolutely be investing more in that space. It's where a lot of the growth is going. You're seeing more and more of a shift from offline to online, and we want to make sure that we're not only supporting our traditional agencies, but also moving into the online space as well.
How will the recession change the online travel sector, do you think?
I think there's a lot of dynamics at play from a recessionary standpoint. If you look at carriers specifically, there's a lot of downward pressure on fares and consumer demand, and a lot of volatility in fares. And as was referenced earlier, a lot of the moves towards ancillary revenues, a la carte pricing, I think those are going to push the market in new directions, and I think it'll be ultimately potentially very disruptive to the existing methods by which OTAs in particular price and sell their product, which may in fact give rise to the metasearch sites in earnest, because we're no longer talking about consumers comparing apples to apples. It's going to have to get more complex, and I think it's going to be a challenge to identify how to present that to consumers.
Why do you come to events like this?
From my standpoint, from a personal level, I'm looking to validate a lot of the thinking that I've done. When I hear feedback of where different players in the industry are going, it helps me get insight into what they're working on, what their thinking is, and to make sure it lines up with what we're looking at from an investment standpoint.
And how do you stay in touch with innovation?
Generally speaking, I use iGoogle quite frequently. As soon as I come across a new blog feed or any sort of RSS feed, I'll add it to one of my tabs, and I've got a running total of roughly 20 now that I keep tabs on it. And as soon as someone posts something of interest, I'll add that to the list.
How has social media influenced your digital strategy?
I think it's still kind of up for grabs for us as far as how we play in that space. There is a lot going on where consumers are getting, they have more and more power moving forward as far as distributing information that, honestly, realistically, the GDS held a virtual monopoly on in the past. So our ability to play in that space we're going to have a social networking component to it. How that plays out is, I think, probably trial and error, a lot like TripAdvisor alluded to, where in some cases you're going to hit a home run with what you come out with, and in other cases, you're going to be testing and trying to come up and finding out, for us, again, going back to our customers, what drives value for them in the marketplace.
And what percentage of your time and budget is spent on mobile?
At this point, I would say it's nominal. From our standpoint now, the way we look at it is another distribution channel for us. So the applications and the features that we've built now will ideally be extensible out to the mobile marketplace.